Hello guys, I'm Shawnthebro. We are here again for another episode of GameMaker. So, you'll have to excuse me. I've been really low on videos and they've been really late. Nothing really bad has been happening. I was really busy over the holidays. So I basically couldn't do any videos then. And then I got extremely sick for a long time, and you'll hear in my voice I'm still not completely better. But I wanted to make this, and my voice is not going to make a difference here, so sorry about that. That was just the color scheme changing. Happens a lot. Anyway, here we go. Now that's all back to normal, loaded up. You're going to do a tutorial today on how to select characters and go to a screen with those characters. So this is for Super Smash Bros. Games, although it will work for any other games. Let's say you've got a game where it's a top-down zombie shooter and you have two characters to pick from. You pick a character and you want to go to the first level or a certain stage with that character. There's several ways to do this. The most basic of ways might also be the longest. However, I'll show you at least two ways here. I can think of three, but the final one I don't even completely understand. I know how to do it, but I've taught myself GameMaker and GameMaker code, so I don't know how to do it with multiple characters. So I'm just going to show you the two that I know, and we can get into it right now. So we're going to create a sprite, and you'll already have this, but I'll do this because I'm going to use a demo. So we'll just say this is Mario. You're doing a Super Smash game. And we're going to create a sprite from file. We're going to go to actually just normal pictures here. Let's do... Let's do the Anthony Carmine photo. This was just some photo downloaded offline from my friend, actually. He sent it to me. But he sent it to Dropbox. So anyway, it's not important. Let's just say that this were to be the thumbnail image, and I'll make it a little nicer for you so you can tell it's a thumbnail image. I'm going to do the box with the open box with the border. There you go. So let's say they know it's not center. And excuse my coughing, that's also related to the sickness, of course. So I know that's Carmine, so that doesn't mean anything. And actually good naming rules would be like this. And that is not what this should be like this. I haven't forgotten that. I was just doing basic stuff. Alright, hold on, it's reloading that. Come on, finish up. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to actually get into it. So you don't really need many characteristics for this way. Now this is the longest way, although it is the simplest. You need no education on how to do anything besides this video. So let's just call this character select, and then we're going to create a new room, which you can do up here, obviously. Either way you like it. And I still like renaming it over here. And we'll just say, pretend this was a stage name. So we'll say Final Destination. Alright. So these are two stages. Now in character select, let's say we were to take away this. No any backgrounds yet, of course. Let's make this a yellow background. No, that's probably a little bright. Let's make it like a purpley background. Hopefully it's not too dark. Alright, and let's say that this was your character select screen. Now it's real easy to do it this way. I'll show you. So you'll go into your object. So your object can be the picture. Now listen, if you did as I showed you how I made the character select screen for the Super Smash Bros. Game and made it all one picture, you're not out of luck. But let me just show you what to do, and then I'll explain how you can do it like that. It's actually not any harder. It's just that you have to use a different technique. Alright, so if you make the thumbnails in GameMaker, or you have a specific picture for the thumbnail instead of one general picture, you can add an event that when this is clicked, you can do left press, left button. I think there's a global mouse. There's all these different lefts. Basically, for this, they'll be doing the same thing. So all you need to do for the most basic one is when it's left clicked, you need to go to the next room. And you can have a transition or not, regardless of if you want it. And I believe this should work. I kind of did that really quickly, but yep. And that's all you would do. So yeah, I hate when you get out of system resources. So anyway, if you wanted to do it this way, all you would have to do is you would make this level have this character at this starting position. There are games that actually do this. So, for example, if there was another character, and say this right here, this character was Luigi, and they put him in this one, this could be called Final Destination, and there should be underscores and stuff, but this could be like Final Destination L for Luigi, and then you would go to this one, and then you would just say whenever you click on whatever photo it is that you're using, then it goes to that one. And there are, as I said, there are games that use this. In fact, there are even major games that Okay guys, so I'm back, and I have new stuff this time, so I actually renamed them the right thing. So I have an Arcanine Sprite, now it's Sprite Carmine, and then this is a bad name. This shouldn't be nothing. We'll call this Sprite Arcanine Select, and we'll call this Object Arcanine Select. So there is another way to do this. You'll have to bear with me for 1 second because I have to test this, but I want to be recording to show you either way it goes, so you'll understand what I'm saying in a second. Anyway, sorry, let me that's weird. Oh, really? In the newer version, you can delete it at any time. Okay, sorry, I just learned something myself. Anyway, I'm gonna do this, and you'll see why I do this because I always get confused. I'll have it after this. I'm gonna do it first. You watch, and then I'll walk through it again. Here we go. This is what I wanted off. Okay. Now this should work. I am a little rusty with this concept since it's been so long since I've done it, and that's why I was having that issue. So it's giving me a small problem here by not working. Let me see exactly how this... Delete underlying. Is that... No, the depth is fine. I want underlying definitely be deleted. Or, I mean, to be unchecked. Oh. Underlying is... See, I'm sorry. I was messing around with newer versions, and I got myself all mixed up. Now, this might work, and if it doesn't, then it's going to be the final underlying. Nope, that works. Okay, I got it now. I figured it out. So this is going to work, and the reason I wanted to show you... The reason I wanted to show you this now while I was doing it was because I wanted to show you how easy it was to figure out. Like, for example, I really forgot how to do it because I've been doing it a different way. And I've been messing around with the newer versions. It's like this GameMaker Studio and everything. And I completely was messing up. But I wanted to show you how simple it was. So, now this will work for anything you have. So, listen. If you have pictures. Sorry, it took me a second. I'm 100 places. Not really anywhere in specific, just because I'm trying not to cough and trying not to sneeze and stuff, and trying to gather my thoughts. If you decided to do the character select screen through a picture, one big picture, and you didn't want to get the pictures of all the individual images and put them in there again, you don't have to. In fact, it won't really make a difference. The only time it would make a difference is when you were changing colors, although if you don't plan on doing that, and or as I said, if you're not doing a Super Smash game and you just want to know how to bring the characters to a specific location, that's exactly how you can do it. So it works out well. You just, let me explain it to you, because it took me a second now. So it's basically with the tiles. However, you can do it in objects. If you do it with tiles, which is how I was trying to do it, I forgot how to do it. It was because I didn't have any other tile sets. It's probably not exact. That's probably not what they're calling this, but the layers, like it says. However, you can do it right here, which I learned was the easier way a while ago, and that's why I wanted to show it to you. So here, let me go through this. I will delete everything. So now, you're going to want to delete underline. You're going to want to have that unchecked. You don't want that checked. When that's checked, things that come in contact with each other, they will delete each other. If not, they can touch each other as much as they want. Now, you don't always want this to happen. Although, for this occasion, you definitely want it to happen. In fact, it's the only way you can get it to work. You can change the depth of the object, so you don't have to put it down first. Although if you're starting from scratch, it would be easier just to put your object that's going to bring you to the correct. So let me give you an example. If you had a map, a stage selection screen, and clicking this button would bring you to the stage selection screen, you would want to put that one under every character slot. And then you would want to put the character thumbnail. Or, as I said, if you're using a transparent image because you're using a picture that you made all the characters work into, you can make this white box right here, you can make this transparent. You don't have to see this at all. I was using this so that you could see it. I made it visible to you, whereas you can create new sprite and have nothing to go along with it, so it's nothing, and it'll show up as a little question mark box and a circle, but it still works the same way. You would just put one as far as everyone needs to press. So for example, this works out well because it's not much bigger than him, and obviously if I was actually doing this, I would make them the same size. However, you can just put them as much as you want, especially with this underlying layer. And because of it, you can load up the character images with those boxes, so that no matter where they click, if they click on the character, it's going to bring you there. Now, if you wanted them to select it first, it's not a different process. For example, how the Super Smash Bros. Selection screens have the coin that you put on the characters. If you wanted to do that, it wouldn't be any different from this, except what would happen was you would play the animation for putting the coin on the character. You would send it to either the character image, or if you were doing the picture, you would send it to the transparent sprite. So either of those work. I will show you again. So all you do is have delete underlying unchecked, put your box down, and put the character you want down. Play your game. Click, and you go to where you want to go. Obviously, it's a blank screen right now, but that is, in fact, the next room. And the only code for that is left button, which is in the events, mouse, left button, and then actions, go to next room, which is in main 1. It's this one right here, next room. And then you can add transitions if you want. Now that's it. And then you say, well, that's only next room, that doesn't put the character in there. Well, there is a way to move the character straight to the next room, actually. What you have to do is, alright, this is going to get a little intense. But this is the last thing I'll do. And I'll go very, very little into it. If you guys want to know, feel free to tell me and I'll make a video. But this will probably confuse a lot of people, and not because they can't understand it, but because I'm probably not the best explainer when it comes to code. Anyway, you're going to want to create something. And, for example, we're going to want an object. It doesn't need a sprite. Something like control is always good to have, but it's not going to be a control variable for the whole game. You're going to say, like, stage whatever. You don't actually have to write that. Now, you would put, you would put stage whatever, which is the little question mark in the ball, wherever on the screen. It doesn't matter where. And then with the stage whatever, you would add an event. And you can either do it trigger, which would work if you know how to use triggers. Let me see. That's usually what I would do. It would probably be possible to use a step. An alarm would definitely be possible. I would say there's so many ways you could do it. I'm trying to think of the best one. I'm not going to do a trigger. That's a whole totally different thing. Alright, probably the best thing. For example, if you were doing, they had to press enter to go to the next screen or something. Let's say you clicked on the character and you only did the animation for putting the coin on there. Then you have to press enter to go to the next screen. Well, so then you want to do, when enter is pressed, you can do key press or just normal keyboard. When enter is pressed, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the next room. Of course. And of course it doesn't matter what you do there. You go to the next room. Or if you want to do a certain room, like you picked a certain stage, you would do this and do a different room. Either way, it's the same thing. You don't need both. One goes to any room, one goes to the next one. So with that, you would pick your room. Excuse me again. And then you could do this a variety of ways. So if you're going to do it this way without triggers or anything, this is actually very simple, although it requires, again, more objects on the programmer's part. All you have to do is use the drag and drop option to either change instance. If you have an instance in here, a lot of times what they do is they'll set up they would set up 4 character spots, 4 character spawns in here on a stage. And then with those character boxes, they would just change instance. Here, I'll do it for you. You know what? I'll do it for you. Hold on, let this refresh real quick. Okay. That's all. That's a little better now. It's loading faster. Okay, I'll do it for you. I won't do 4. Let's say 1 player. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll do Arcanine stuff. Who cares what it is? You would have a spawn here. Like, call this object spawn. Something like that, okay? Now, when stage whatever happens, and it's in this one, you press enter, you go to this room. So we would put it in this one, which we do. So if we press enter, we should go to this room. Basically, that's how you would get it to go to that room. Now, with this in here, this is how we're going to get the character that you chose to come to here. So, these, again, pretend this is a spawn point for any character you choose. Now, you're going to go into, let's say Arcanine. Let's say you chose Arcanine, and Arcanine's the one that's being held in possession for the room. So, you were to click on him and press enter. So what you would have to do is, you do this 2 ways. Since I know that Arcanine's gonna be the character, let's say you only made a game with 4 characters. It doesn't have to be a Super Smash game, as I said. Say you made a game that has 4 characters. You know they're either gonna spawn as AI or players, and you only need 4. So you say, well, I already have the characters. I don't need to do any randomizing. Great. You can come in from here, and you can sorry, I'm trying to think. Room start. Here we go. I knew it was here. And when this room starts and he's in it, which of course you wouldn't be using the thumbnail image for Arcanine, but let's say you had an actual Arcanine sprite / object going on over here. You would do room start, and when he's put into it, he would change instances with the spawn. So he would become Arcanine, but he would change Arcanine select into him. I don't think I messed anything up along the way. Let me test it. Okay. Moving. Right, that was because I clicked on the middle. Yeah. So, it didn't do anything. But it actually wasn't because what I did was wrong. It was because it has nothing to do here. Let me explain to you why. Because when it room start, it actually took out the one from the first room, not from the second room. That's why that was occurring. So, you have to excuse me on that. As I said, if I had an actual object Arcanine sprite, that'd be better. But I'm probably confusing you. So, instead of confusing you, I'm going to show you one final time, but I'll get it right this time. Now, let's do this the right way. Let's do this the way you should do this. So, it's random. It can be any character you put in there. It could be, you can use this for items. If you set up item spawn locations, you can set up as many as you want. And then you can just tell this thing to become the item. So, now, I would probably do an alarm for items so that they're not popping up all over the place. But if you were to do room start, that would work. I'm actually going to do this because I don't want to confuse you. I want you to get this right. I want to help you, and I'm going to do this the right way. So we're going to do sprite, Arcanine, spawn. And it doesn't really need to have anything. Again, I'm going to add a little something just so you can see that it's here. So that's a little inverted. Let's do, there you go. You got a green and black box here. And then let's create an object and just call it object Arcanine spawn. And then you would use this. Again, you don't need a sprite. I'm just doing this to show you. Put this in Final Destination. Put this in the map that you choose. Put this in all maps and every place you want. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have object Arcanine spawn. Now, this is only going to be in stages, so you're not going to have to worry about this popping up anywhere else. So you can say either A, when it's created, B, when the room starts, or even when the game starts if you throw them in there. And that's the first thing that happens if you don't have any other screens and you're just throwing characters in. We can do when created. So when it's created, we're going to change instance self into Arcanine, and yes, we're gonna perform it. And that's gonna settle it. That's gonna be all you need to do. And you'll see you didn't see it happen because it happened right away. So if you have a spawning animation or such, that could occur. But it can work for anything. You're gonna need spawns for every character, but there is even one more way to actually get every character to go to any spawn. That's a lot more complicated, and I'm trying to do the drag and drop methods primarily. That's the word I'm looking for. Because I want you to learn without having to learn code. Code is fantastic, and I suggest that you learn it, but for basic short things like that, I just want to show you how you can do it so you know. If you want to get the spawn point, to be for everyone, where it can spawn any character, what you would do is you would set up another variable. It doesn't actually have to have a sprite. I'm going to call it object check. And whenever it's created, and I would actually primarily do an alarm and have it go off immediately, so it's checking. It's a timer that's always going off, which you can do very easily if I could find the right thing. I'm not sure exactly how low. I'm not sure if that actually works. I've never tried it with the drag and drop like that. That low anyway. But let's just say that were to work, which you can do through code. But let's say this were to work, whether it does or not. Set something so it's always checking. And then basically all you want to do is every time it checks, so in the alarm event, it's going to check what the player selected is. So when this goes off, it has to check who the character is. And I think a good way to do that, one way I always seem to do everything like that, is set an index through the scores. Now what I mean by this is every time it checks, if let's say Mario is player 1. So you can do 1 or 0, but 0 I usually have for something else. Score, that will bring your score to 1. Let's say this is different when you select Luigi, that's player 2. Let's say you select Little Mac, and that's player 15. Then you would set the score to 15. And then you're going to want to excuse me. Then you're going to want to test the score, I believe. Yep. You're going to want to see what value it's equal to. So you can use any value. You can do 1 for every character in the same alarm. So value 1 is equal to. And if the score is equal to 1, then you know the character is Mario. Then you're going to want to, let me start a block for you so you know. You can do this. Start of a block. If score, crap, I kind of forget how to use them in this version. I think it should be the same logic. I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think if it comes first or second. Either way, if it doesn't work, you just put it above it. But you do your start of a block. So this shows you everything that you're gonna want to repeat. So you're going to want to check that. And if the score is equal to 1, then you're just going to create object, you know, whatever you were to create, at whatever X and Y you want to create it. And then you would, I'll just do this for you and have nothing in there. But you would create your object, and then end of block. You can do else. You want to do nothing. That's it. Like else, nothing. And else will do start of a block. There are ways to do actually nothing, although if you do the 2 blocks like that, I believe it works. And as I don't have any characters that I can show you to do this with, I believe that will work. I know it definitely works. Although I'm not sure if I'm gonna say I'm sure that this is correct, because it even indents for you nicely. I don't see why it would be in the block. I just remember it's been a while, so I don't exactly remember. But that should definitely work. That's how I did it anyway. I don't have the file here where I can record. Thus the reason I'm not showing you that example, but this is the actual example. I am going to save this right now. This GameMaker file will say YouTube tutorial. We'll call it number 1, even though it's not the first one. Anyway, guys, I know I'm not the best explainer, but I think you should hopefully understand. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And you can feel free to ask me anything you want. Well, if you need help, contact me. Other than that, I'll see you next episode. Goodbye, my friends.
Good? Hi. Hello. Hey, what's up? Ray, Michael, Lindsay, some kind of order. You're watching Shawnthebro. You know it's legit because he has a shirt and he has a phone case. He can't show you the phone case because he's recording with it. I don't have a phone case. I got a phone case. You should get one, though. In fact, Sean is my bro. It doesn't say Shawnthebro, though. It's just black. It doesn't. Loser. Check out Shawnthebro. Yeah. Or you're a bitch. All right. Yeah, you're a bitch. Thanks, guys. So